On Wall to Wall Country with me, Casey. It's a Wednesday edition of the show. Glad to have everybody on board. It's the first edition of 2017. I can't believe it. I think we're into third or fourth year of this show, so it's pretty cool. And really managed to establish the fact that we have an artist in on the show each and every week. Whether it's someone who's classic and's got some info under their belt, or they're coming in and being someone who's new in the music industry, we love them all and we invite them all. And we've got some guy from Texas. Just this dude, this guy from Texas who was has a heart of gold because he used to teach children, which, oh my Lord, and hung out on a boat for a while. We're going to find out all the details about this guy coming up in the next little bit. We are chatting today, the first edition of 2017. He has the honor of being my first guest this year, Mr. JR Herrera. Hey, JR, how are you?
I'm great. How are y'all?
I am good. Now, I didn't want to spill too many of the beans there, but you're kind of new to the country music industry. You've got some music out there. You've got some things going on, and we're going to get to all that in just a little bit. But the first thing I'd like to do is find out a little bit more about you, kind of go in a little bit more detail of some of the things that I just skimmed over a little bit, and tell us how you got to where you're at, hailing from Texas, and now you're a country music icon. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Well, it's been quite a journey, I'll be honest with you. We'll start with the teaching. I taught in South Texas, where I'm from, for about 2 years. I was a middle school science teacher, if you can believe that. I taught 6th and 7th grade science. And I've been playing since I was a kid, but I kind of tried many other things, I think, as we often do in life. And so one of them was teaching. Mm-hmm. I actually left teaching. I moved to California, ended up back in Austin, Texas, so that I could, all this time, I'm still doing music and playing on the side and this kind of thing. And I taught another year in Austin as a 7th grade science teacher.
God love you.
So I eventually, yeah, it was a great experience. I'll tell you what, it was an interesting experience. And so I ended up leaving after that last year I taught. I left and decided to push music. I decided that I wanted to do it full time. Kind of came full circle, where I kind of ended up again in music. And shortly after, I found a job working on cruise ships for Carnival Cruise Line.
That's cool. Or was it?
Yeah.
I would think it was cool, but I don't know. I mean, maybe rough seas. I don't know. How does that work? I mean, how did that go for you?
Yeah, it was great. It was probably the best decision I ever made was doing that. I did it for about 2.5 years.
Wow.
Worked on about 6 different ships, I believe.
Wow.
And yeah, mostly in the South. I do a lot of country music, and so I was mostly based out of Texas. I did a contract out of New Orleans, which was also amazing, and played a couple hours a night, almost every night, and met a ton of people. Got to learn a bunch of music,
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a great experience.
Were you like doing your own kind of show there, or were you like backing up other people, or how did that work?
Yeah, so I was actually a soloist.
Wow.
Which means I played guitar and sang every night.
Nice.
So my focus was country music. I did a lot of red dirt, Texas country, Nashville country, some of the classic stuff as well, Did
you get some line dancing going on the ship?
Maybe a little bit, not. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, that sounds like fun. Okay, so then you're hanging out on a couple of big ships, bouncing around the oceans.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And now you're meeting actually, not just country music enthusiasts, but you're actually possibly making some connections and stuff like that as you're doing that. How did that work for you?
Absolutely, yeah. That was another thing. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. The networking was amazing. I met my manager on there. I met, most of my followers on my Facebook music page. I still keep in touch with, and I met them on ships.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an amazing experience because as a musician, I played in bars and all that kind of thing, especially in Austin, and did that whole thing. But on cruise ships, you meet different people, and you're talking about several thousand people sometimes every week.
Yeah.
So you're constantly meeting new people and playing every day from Monday through Sunday. Mm-hmm. So that was an amazing experience.
Do you got any kind of weird stories from there? Something that was a little bit like maybe a little weird on one of the ships? You got any kind of fun stories? Something that was like a little off key?
I could probably go on and on about those fun stories or interesting stories. Honestly, my first night on a cruise ship was probably the most interesting because I had never been on a ship before. I took this job and I said, let's do it, not knowing what to expect at all. So I get on the ship, and the night before I got on, one of my best friends is ex-Navy, and he sent me a video on Facebook the night before of cameras inside a cruise ship going through a huge storm. So you can see the tables flying across the dining room. And so I was a little freaked out, to be honest with you. And then so I get up to the ship, and I play that first night. As soon as you get there, they show you your room. You're playing at 5 o'clock, buddy. So I played, and then that night we ended up actually going through a really bad storm. So I was awake the entire night, completely just scared. I wanted to get off the boat at the next port. At all.
Freaking out.
So, yeah, so the next day, early in the morning, my music director calls me. He says, hey, JR, how did you sleep? And I said, look, I'm getting off at the next port, man. I can't do this. I'm going home. I couldn't sleep at all. And he's just laughing his head off. And he says, no, it's not. It's never like this, Jerry. It's pretty rare, actually, every now and then. But the boat is normally pretty smooth. So that was probably one of the most interesting things I got to experience, you know?
That's interesting.
My very first night, you know?
Wow. Okay, so you did that for a couple years. What was the next step?
The next step was, like I said, I met my manager on there, and John Ramirez out here in San Antonio, that's where I live now. And so we decided to work on a project. I've been writing since I was younger. The opportunity never quite arose to do that. So how about we work on a project? So we started working on it last November. And so I did a couple more contracts, decided to end with Carnival back in August. August, I believe, is when I left. And so that's what we've been doing since then is we finished recording the EP. We released it in November, end of October around there. Mm-hmm. And now we're promoting the first single.
That's awesome.
So we're moving along.
Now, let me ask you, the EP, the songs that are on there, are you a writer as well as the artist that's on it? Where did some of the material come from?
Yeah, so I write all my songs. I've always wanted to be a songwriter, to be honest with you. Okay. And at this point, I think at some point, especially after Ships, I realized that I wanted to perform my music as well. I had so much fun doing it. I grew a lot as a musician, obviously playing every night. And so I decided that I wanted to be the one that was singing my songs, So mm-hmm. all the songs on the EP are written by me. We're in the studio right now finishing the album. So there's 4 more songs we're adding to that, and that'll be the complete Roadway Lines album.
Okay. And, yeah, I just want to let everybody know that the actual name of the EP and one of the songs on it is Roadway Lines. So that's one of the songs that are on the EP, as well as the title of the EP.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I thought that the title was pretty appropriate for where we're at right now, where I'm at right now in life, and kind of making this push to do this, after trying all these different things.
Yeah. You got to fight on a couple of pairs of pants until you find the one that fits just right. Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
So we'll get back to the song Roadway Lines here in a minute, but the one that you've released recently as your single is a little something called For Right Now. Since you are the writer of it, where did the inspiration come from this particular song that you're debuting as your single off the EP?
Every song, obviously, I've written from either my experiences or playing off of my past experiences or current experiences or even experiences that I've seen friends go through, And this song is just written about so the point of the whole song is about being grateful for what you have at the moment that you have it, because you never know when it's going to be lost. I think country music is really unique. It's very unique and special because you can write about emotion or sadness. drenched in country music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this song is about being with somebody that you know is way too good for you.
Oh, wow, okay.
And knowing that they're gonna leave eventually. So just enjoying them while you have them, you know.
Wow, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's yeah.
Now, on your fans, are they grasping that same kind of idea from the song? Or are you finding that some of your fans are interpreting the songs a little differently? Do you communicate with your fans on the stuff that you're releasing out there?
Yeah, so actually when we decided to push this single, so we kind of went back and forth about which one we wanted to really, you know, we decided on this one. And I actually released a small clip where I played the acoustic version of it before we released it and talked about kind of what it was about. You know, on the surface, you know, it's I like to have kind of those underlying tones, you know, but on the surface it's just about, you know, knowing that she's going to leave me someday, you know, but the underlying message for me is, especially where I'm at in life, is being grateful for what you have, you know, knowing that it could be taken away at any moment, you know.
You know, and that's interesting.
I hope they're able to get that message.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting that you're bringing that one out now, you know, and the theme of that, if you never know when something's going to be gone. Country music has taken some significant hits, artists in general in 2016, genres in general.
Right.
You know, and I think it's one of those things that, you know, if it happens once or twice, people are like, oh, whatever. But it's like, it just seems like it was really trying to make a point, you know, in 2016. Yeah. I mean, geez, every time you turned around, you know, it was like, holy crap, that person's gone. Oh my gosh, you know, and then
we lost. Yeah, definitely.
You know, and then you get the double whammy between, you know, Carrie Fisher and then Debbie Reynolds. It's like, holy crap. Yeah. I was like, you know, every day you come to work and it's like, who died today? I mean, my goodness gracious, you know.
Yeah, and it's sad that that's what it was. Yeah, who's going to be next this year? You know, was kind of the message out there.
Well, and to you know, to reiterate your message, it's like people really need to stop and realize it's like, hey, dude, you know, don't take anything for granted. Whether it is your significant other, whether it is, you know, your job, whether it is your family, you know, or you know, outreaching to people who you know, were a fan of Carrie Fisher and a fan of her movies and a fan of what she stood for, and then Debbie Reynolds on top of it. You know, these things can be taken away so quickly. So, you know, be in the now, you know, and live for the now, because you never know what's going to happen a minute from now, you know?
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, I'll tell you what, JR, why don't we do this? I'm going to have to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about some of the other songs on your EP and about your connection to your fans and things along that line in a little bit. Can you hang in there for just a little while?
Absolutely. Let's do it, yeah.
Awesome. We're very excited to hear this song. So I want people to really take note and listen to the words. You know, the song has kind of some layers to it, and see if they can connect with the underlying layer and maybe rationalize with it a little bit. We're going to play that song coming up right after the break. This is off of JT Herrera's Roadway Lines EP that's out, his single. It's called For Right Now, and I want everybody to give a listen. We're going to be back with more JR Herrera in just a minute with his single off his EP, For Right Now, in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. And back there you heard a little something from JR Herrera. It's a little something off of his Roadway Lines EP. It's got 6 songs on it, but that is the single that is out right now. And it's a little something called For Right Now. I really liked it, JR. That was awesome.
Did you? Thank you.
I did. I really liked it, and I think you're right. I mean, you know, it tells a story, and you know, you're grateful for what you have right now, and you know, at some point it might not be around anymore. So, you know, just take it and run with it. Now, you've got this EP out there. Is the whole EP available? Just the single? How can people get their hands on your music?
Yeah, so they can find that the whole EP is available on iTunes, Google Play, Apple Music, Spotify. I mean, it's everywhere. We released everything.
Okay.
Yeah, you can also go to my Facebook page at JR Herrera Music or jrherreramusic.com and pick it up there. Yeah, they're all available, and we're working towards finishing the album. So we're recording the last 4 songs of it right now.
Okay. Now, is this something they can get as a hard copy as well, or is it just all digital right now?
It's all digital at this moment. Once we release the whole album, then we'll add that feature as well on the website and all those kinds of things,
Okay, so you've got an album coming out. Is it going to be titled the same, have these songs on it, or what's that all about?
Yes. That's exactly what we're doing. We're finishing, in essence, we're finishing the album right now. We wanted to kind of get a leg up and get the EP out as soon as I think we got very eager. We felt we had some good music and we wanted to release some of it, So we're working on. So it'll be these 6 songs plus the 4 of them that we're doing right now, and it'll be titled Roadway Lines. We really like the name of that for an album.
Are you going to do hard copies like CDs, or once that's
Absolutely,
done?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Once we finish the entire album, absolutely.
Okay, all right. So people can get that if they prefer to have the CD, they can get their hands on a hard copy once all this is done. And when's the projected finished product? Think you might have it out there?
We're looking at late January, early February.
Oh, that's soon. Okay, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Right, yeah.
So
we're working on it.
So the docket of 2017, you going to be doing some touring? Or are you just working in studio? What's a plan for right now, JR?
Yeah, so 2017 it's going to be a big year for all of us. We've been putting the team together. We've been working on. It's been my manager and myself for the last year, working on everything, and we actually got our lead guitarist. He moved down to San Antonio. He's from New York, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I met him on cruise lines. He's an amazing musician, and we felt that he would be great for the project. So we're building the team right now. We're in rehearsals as we speak, and we'll be doing live shows. 2017 is, we'll start to push the live shows.
Okay. Now,
and promote, more music.
Ways that people can reach out to you, JRHerreramusic.com is your website. You're also on Facebook?
Yes. Either or, JR Herrera Music on Facebook or JRHerreramusic.com would be the best ways. Yeah, that's where we'll be posting everything and keeping up to date with everything going on.
That sounds awesome. And, you talked about the Roadway Lines is the title of the EP, but there's also a song on it there mentioning a little bit about That's Where You Are. Again, another song that you wrote and put together. A little bit better explanation of it since you're the author.
For Roadway Lines?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So that song was just about. I actually just sat down and I felt like that song just came out. I think it was just
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it about a family member of mine who was working in oil field in down here, and he was away from his family a lot. It's about that kind of thing, and trying to make that decision about whether he should let work overtake his life and kind of put his relationship on the back burner and maybe ruin it, or so that kind of thing. He was kind of stuck in that decision, that kind of thing, kind of losing what I have over here, but the money's great over here, kind of thing. So that song is about saying that I'm not willing to give up what I have over here in order to be away all the time,
Okay. All right, good stuff. Well, we're going to play that song in just a little bit, but a couple other things. So when you're getting contacted by people or messaging you on Facebook and things like that, are you finding people are reaching out to you in a way of coming out and performing, and maybe some special events and things along that line? Has that part of the business been happening for you, for whether it's a good cause or things like that? Are they reaching out to you for that?
Yeah, so that's primarily what I'm doing right now. Is as far as we're building the band, and we're in rehearsals and stuff like that. So right now I'm like I said, I've been doing the acoustic solo gig for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a lot of that kind of thing. I do a lot of private events, corporate events around here. In fact, we just had I took my lead guitarist with me. We did New Year's Eve private performance down here in Texas, and so that was great. So I've been doing a lot of that. Yeah. So a lot of people when they do reach out, right now it's been a lot of number one, which is great to see, is a lot of people that I've met on ships. They don't know me for my original music. They know me more for playing the hundreds of covers that I played. And they followed me. So a lot of times, also, I'll get messages from people that I've met just supporting what I'm doing. Which is the biggest thing for me right now. It's been great. People just saying, "Look, I like the song. Keep doing what you're doing. We love your music." That kind of thing. So that means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also the gigs.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, with the social medias and stuff, you can get more things out there a little bit quicker, bigger, whatever you want to call it, and have that connectivity with your fans and introducing some different music and stuff that you've written. And are you using Facebook in that kind of capacity to really, expand your fan base and get feedback from them about your music and stuff?
Absolutely, especially since we started releasing this, since we started pushing for right now. It's been this is my first single coming out. It's been a huge learning experience, but yes, absolutely. That's what we've been trying to get better at, and we've been using it for us to push that single and try to gain that support and that kind of thing, Yeah. But when we do have the live shows, which are coming up really soon, and we're so excited about it.
Yeah, I bet. And, I just, connectivity and people coming out to the shows and when you have a talent and you're really trying to get people to know about it, really, really getting out there face to face and then making sure that they know how to track you down and get your information and things along that line. So, spreading the word is very important. I think what's one of the things that today's society offers with the social medias and stuff like that is to really help get it out there a little bit further, than you would just driving around Texas. You know what I mean?
Right, yes. Yep.
So what kind of big plans you got? You got some plans? You going to be doing videos for any of these tunes? What's the plan for the summer of 2017?
For the summer, we've actually been talking about releasing a song. I don't want to say too much about it, but since you brought up the music video, we're talking about a possible video for one of the songs on the EP right now called Drink a Ton of Whiskey, which is kind of an interesting song. But, we're actually talking about that, maybe pushing that for the summer kind of thing. Without releasing too much information, but, we're in talks about that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Well, people can look for that and, following you on Facebook and keeping connected via your website is probably one of the best ways for people to know what's going on. And, when you get everything together and you start setting some dates that they can come out and see you and watch you perform live and things along that line, which is always good.
Right, yes.
Now, at the end of the show, what I like to do is play a follow-up song of my artist, because this entire interview gets recorded and played back on a Sunday. So if you have any fans that might have missed the interview, make sure you let them know that. And the show starts at 8 a.m. Eastern with the interview in the second hour. And we were talking a little bit about another one of the songs off the EP, Give Me Tonight. And I would like to know a little bit more about that, so people, when they're listening to it at the end of the show, they have an idea of what was going on when you were writing this one and getting this one out there.
So this song I actually wrote about a year and a half ago, around there. I was working on shifts, actually, when I wrote the song. And it was just, on the surface, it was just about, I think some of my writing is based on just one experience that I saw. And I want people to feel just, if they can connect with one emotion, that means everything, So this song was just about knowing somebody and wanting that chance with someone, and they're with somebody else that is not worth it, at the end of the day. And so you're asking for that one chance. Just give me tonight. Give me one night to prove to you that I'm better for you. You're better off with me.
All right. Well, we'll be listening to that song towards the end of the show. Anything else you'd like to throw out there, JR, to your fans and give them a little whatever before we wrap this up?
Folks, if you're listening, thank you so much for the support. You have no idea how much it means to me, especially getting off the ship and making this transition into taking this opportunity and doing my own music. And thank you, Wall to Wall Country, for having me. Thank you, Casey.
Yeah, this is awesome. We just want to remind everybody that you can find this gentleman and his music and information at JR Herrera Music.com. The same thing for his Facebook page. Follow him on that. You can download and get his 6-tune EP. It's a little something called The Roadway Lines with his single out there right now. It's called For Right Now, and it's got great tunes on it, including one we're going to listen to in just a moment, Roadway Lines, and then catch another one at the end of the show. Plus, it's also got that song that's potential, a little bit more activity on that one, called A Drink a Ton of Whiskey. You guys can stay on his Facebook page, friend him on his Facebook, and check out his website. Find out where this guy is, what's going on, when he's out on the road, when he's going to be performing, and find his music at the regular stops, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Amazon, all that kind of great stuff. And grab his music and let him know that you heard all about him right here on the Wall to Wall Country Show. If you're ever in your travels and you find yourself up here in the Pennsylvania area, my doors to the station are always open to all of my artists. We'd love to hear from you and swing by the station and give us a little bit update. Plus, or if, you get some new things going on in a couple of months, you want to get back on the show, JR, we always welcome all of our artists back on. So keep that in mind as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And be looking for his full album that's also going to be coming out in just a few weeks with a couple more tunes on that Roadway Lines album. Looking forward to seeing that come to fruition as well. Dude, I want to thank you for taking the time and chatting with me today. We'll get your music out there. We'll help play some of those tunes for you. And we wish you the best. Stay in touch. And, just let me know if you got anything new and exciting going on, dude.
Thank you very much, Casey. Thank you.
All right. Well, you take care. Why don't you go ahead and introduce your song, Roadway Lines. We're going to be playing that in the time frame of your little goodbyes here. But go ahead and introduce your song, and we'll talk to you soon, my man.
Folks, thank you all very much. My name is JR Herrera. Roadway Lines. Check it out, folks.